my name is Katie Cade, and I'm here to talk to you about PTSD in children and adolescents. PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder, can be defined as a psychiatric disorder that can occur in people who have experienced or witnessed a traumatic event such as natural disaster, serious accident, terrorist act, war or combat, rape, or another violent personal assault. My focus for this intervention is to look at how this disorder directly affects children and adolescents. In order to move on with creating an intervention, I needed to complete research that would help me fully understand how serious this issue truly is. Within the United States, 13 million people are currently diagnosed with PTSD, most commonly among veterans and individuals who have experienced abuse, sexual assault, or rape throughout their childhood or adulthood. In children, up to 43% of boys and girls have experienced a traumatic event in their lifetime, and up to 6% of boys and 15% of girls will suffer from PTSD due to these experiences. PTSD has been proven to be an independent predictor with attempted suicide based on many different studies that have been completed in the last few decades. With the high number of cases in children continuing to climb, some action must be taken. Studying PTSD is more difficult in children than adults, due to their brain development and not truly understanding what behaviors may be symptoms of PTSD compared to normal adolescent behaviors. Treating PTSD in its early development could help reduce the chances of negative effects resulting from the traumatic experience following the child into adulthood. The mission of this proposed intervention is to better educate and provide services for adolescents that have experienced trauma or may show signs or symptoms related to PTSD. I plan to focus on children and adolescents within a community that has been directly affected by a community-wide traumatic event. I plan to perform this intervention in a community center or fire hall within the area of the community recently affected. The first part of the intervention will be an educational seminar that is available to anyone in the community free of cost. In order to spread the word on this seminar, I will post announcement flyers on local business bulletin boards, including details regarding the seminar, as well as ask for volunteers from the community. I will also look into costs regarding a radio and television commercial to announce the seminar, along with the time, date, and venue. Volunteers will be offered an incentive, which will be discussed shortly. At the seminar, I will focus on informing and educating the individuals of the community about PTSD and the symptoms associated with this disorder. I will also focus on helping individuals understand that available treatment options are available, avoiding the discussion of prescription medications, and announce the available group therapy session that will occur a few weeks following the seminar. This group therapy session will be led by a licensed behavioral therapist. I will offer time directly following the seminar for any questions and concerns. During the group therapy session, our behavioral therapist will work with the children to help them understand what PTSD is and how it is affecting their mind and body. The behavioral therapist will also work on conducting some treatment activities. The parents and guardians of the children will be encouraged to stay and observe the therapy session in a hands-off manner to avoid any interference with the treatment. By allowing their attendance, they will be able to watch and experience what the therapy session entails while offering them a direct way to support their children during this difficult time. The first goal associated with this intervention is focused on understanding and more effectively treating children and adolescents with PTSD. Within this goal, the objectives are related to decreasing the number of prescribed medications for individuals suffering from PTSD, as well as educating and providing more opportunities for children and teenagers to have therapy-based treatment options, which will lead, hopefully, to a large increase of effective therapy-based treatments referred by physicians and therapy sessions being held for those who need it. Providing education to individuals and their families and friends regarding PTSD is the second goal associated with this intervention. Within the intervention, the objectives include holding an educational seminar discussing PTSD and its symptoms within a community that has experienced a traumatic event within the last month. Following the seminar and the intervention, I hope that the educational seminar provided individuals with the information they would need to reach out and seek treatment as it would become needed. In order to spread the word about this intervention, I plan on utilizing social media platforms as a free and easy way to advertise for the seminar, as well as announce that volunteers will be needed. I also plan on creating flyers that could be mass printed at a UPS store at a small cost so that I can pin them up within local businesses and on bulletin boards around the area of the community. My hope is to reach out to local leaders from the area, such as a town mayor, town representative, and the local police precinct, asking if they would be willing to speak and or volunteer at the seminar. Their presence and support would make them a huge advocate for the cause. I also plan on reaching out to local news stations, radio stations, and newspapers to discuss the cost of placing an advertisement through their companies. Volunteers would be recruited for this seminar. I would like the volunteers to hand out informational flyers as well as greet people at a table by the entrance so we can receive their names and contact information to send them further information if they would like it. In order to recruit these volunteers, I will offer an incentive for a discounted price on the group therapy session. This will hopefully bring in individuals who may need the treatment themselves or for a family member or friend. There's currently a plan to charge per person for the group therapy session, with all money collected planning to be applied to future seminars and therapy sessions. However, if there is difficult paying for the session, we will work with individuals specifically to ensure that treatment can be received. I plan to work with a hired professional behavioral specialist who will be responsible for creating their own plan for the group therapy session based off of their own knowledge and professional skills. I also plan on working directly with a marketing employee who is also my roommate and agreed to help as a volunteer. She will be responsible for assisting in creating the flyers and posting to social media to help with recruitment and advertisement. For the seminar and the group therapy session, I will need to look into the cost of renting a space for 2 separate days. On average, the cost of renting out a space for 4 hours would be approximately $150, plus the $100 refundable security deposit needed prior to each day that the community center would be used. I will also look into renting a projector and microphone, assuming that one would not be provided, which would cost an extra $70. The cost of printing in color at UPS is 49 cents a copy, and I would like to make about 500 informational brochures and 100 flyers for the town advertisements. As for the behavioral specialists, it would be great if they could volunteer, but I would have to plan as if they would want to be paid for their services. I would like the therapist to be present for the seminar as well as compensate for any planning work that will be completed and the therapy session as well. I will pay for a full week's pay at 40 hours. In Pennsylvania, a behavioral therapist is paid approximately $28 an hour, but I plan to raise that to $32 an hour for working on this intervention. Adding all services up, it would be $400 for the community center, $294 for the printing costs, and $1,280 to cover the salary of 1 week pay for the behavioral therapist. These totals add up to $1,974. With some buffer room in case there would need to be any added expenses, I would ask for an investment of $2,200. In order to determine the success rates of this intervention, I plan on conducting a survey at the beginning of the seminar as individuals come through the door. I plan for this to be a short 5 to 8 question survey that asks questions using a rating scale on how familiar they are about different topics regarding PTSD, with the last 2 questions asking if they feel they may need any help if they are suffering from PTSD and if they would be interested in receiving more information regarding treatment. Space will be provided for them to leave their name and preferred contact method. This could be completed on an individual basis or for a child or teenager as their parent or guardian. 6 months after the group therapy session, I plan to resend the same survey to all that attended the seminar and group therapy sessions to determine if their education level and understanding of PTSD had increased, decreased, or stayed the same. I will change the last questions to be shaped more towards if they continued to receive treatment and if they thought the group therapy session was beneficial for them or their family. I will then conduct the same survey annually for 3 consecutive years. The surveys related to children and teenagers will be used to efficiently determine how an individual's education level and treatment options have improved. PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder, is a very serious and crippling disease, affecting 13 million Americans today, with a very large number of these people being children and teenagers. It is extremely important that we work towards reducing these numbers no matter how difficult it may be. Children and teenagers suffer in different ways than adults, making it hard to see that PTSD is causing physical, mental, and emotional pain, which could lead to suicide. We need to step up and advocate for a change that could lead to a more positive future for young people that have suffered so early in their lives. We can be the voice, and we can make a difference in the lives of hundreds of thousands of children within our country because they may not understand what is happening to them and know how they can find help for themselves. Mental illness is a serious issue with many stigmas, and there needs to be more done for young people in this country suffering from issues that are unable to be seen by the naked eye. With your help, we can make a change today. Thank you.